Okay, we're good.
Okay, got it. Hang on for a minute. Signing off.
Silence.
All right, people, thank you, everybody, for being here on time as usual. Appreciate everybody's respect for their time frames. It's good to see everybody here. In the room tonight is all of our commissioners are here tonight. Town staff is here with Wade and Niles. I don't see anybody else from town staff here. Am I missing it? Are they here virtual?
There are other rooms. Tara is over there with her
Do another work.
Poolesville Day Committee.
I was wondering what all the cars were here for. I was starting to get worried. Like, okay, what do we not have planned tonight? Yeah, understood. So very good. We want to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I do want to talk about one thing, but we'll do that first. So, Alan, why don't you lead us today?
All right.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that, everybody. I appreciate it. Since it's not on the agenda, and I'm like Will Ferrell in Anchorman. I read what's right on this. So at what point do we do the announcement about our closed session?
You do it right now.
Okay, got it. Thank you. So everybody, as you know, we had a closed session prior to our last meeting, starting at 6:30. So we had a half an hour closed session. It was to discuss our attorney situation. And we have a great attorney situation. First of all, Jay Gullo, our long-standing attorney, is still serving the town in a number of different ways. But we also, the commissioners, as you guys know, were in the meeting. We stretched our legs a little bit and talked a little bit more about what the future means for a town attorney. As such, the town commissioners came to a consensus that we would look for, we begin the search for a longer-term replacement for Jay. Not that he hasn't done a great job, and not that he's still doing a great job. He is. But, trying to look at big picture and having an attorney that's actually located in Maryland is important to the town commissioners. So thank you guys for the deliberativeness on that. And that concludes our report on the closed session that we had prior to the last meeting. So our announcements, committee reports. Brian, since you're next up on the list, alphabetically.
Yep. We did not meet in August. I've already gave an update on the plan or the work session that we had. Do we have anything on the agenda coming up?
So the only thing that is on the agenda is following up from the work session.
Okay.
So we have a couple of things that will be coming down the road, but neither of the applications for those things have been submitted at this time.
Very good. And still working with the, outside of the planning commission, still working with the Department of Parks for the state about trying to get together a logo type sticker type of thing for businesses that are welcoming bikers and hikers. And looks like we're trying to get a follow-up meeting with them this week.
Correct. Yep.
So that's about all I've got for my report. Next, we can go to, any questions from anybody?
So is that going to be, that's a sticker that's going to be provided by the state? Is it part of like a whole state program? Or no, you're just going to create one
We'll probably have to
yourself?
start the program, and I'm not sure exactly where that'll come from, but hopefully it's a low enough cost that it shouldn't.
Yeah.
But wherever that gets started, the state's going to kind of sit back and then maybe help us get it rolling and then push it out.
Cool.
No, so
I mean,
pretty much-
Montgomery County has a really vibrant, active, like biking
Sure do.
community. I'm surprised there's not something like that already
To utilize,
exists.
utilize all the canals and.
Right. I'm looking at you,
agritourism
John,
parts of
wondering
it.
if you,
So this will be publicized along the canal?
We're just at the beginning stage.
We are beginning to say, but we have talked about that.
I have a Canal Towns Partnership meeting Wednesday, and I can mention this.
Yeah, just
Absolutely.
it's conceptual at this point with no hard plans, so.
This will be a 2026,
Yeah.
opening.
yeah.
So that
Awesome.
might be the answer to some of the questions, is at the conception phase right now.
Yeah, and we'll take any feedback you have, certainly.
And we are working with the Director of National DNR for the outdoor recreational, so it is, it's pretty good company to deal with.
Good support for it.
Absolutely. So,
Alan, you
I'll
up?
go second. So we actually have our next Parks Board meeting Wednesday. It's been a little while since we had a little walkthrough at the park back in August, maybe the 6th or something like
Yep,
that.
You're exactly right.
But, a couple notes. Obviously, with the parks, the town's starting to wind down with the staff on grass cutting parks, the parks we have now with the grass and getting it prepped for the fall and the winter. See, obviously, we got Poolesville Day coming up in a couple weeks, so guys are hard at work on getting everything prepped and for safety and direction, considering we lost a little bit of parking, but we'll be fine with that. We had I don't think I mentioned it last time, but we did get an AED installation at Elgin.
Correct. And we'll actually have another one at Helmos that came in on Friday. So once we get past Poolesville Day and such, we'll put that one.
It was kind of nice because I went to one of the Meet the Coaches meetings at the high school, since I'm also president of the Booster Club. But they had talked about not having an AED at Elgin since they practice there, the soccer practice there all the time. They have a portable one, but, Jeremy, the athletic trainer, had discussed having something there other than a temporary one or a mobile one. So luckily I could communicate with our staff, got it done in a couple weeks. They were all very happy, and, it's to be utilized from everybody, not just, the sports. So,
Can I ask a related question?
yes.
I was speaking to one of our local gym owners, and they were just saying that that's not required in our local gyms to have
Okay.
an AED.
That's odd.
Is there, does anybody know of like a program, because they're really expensive.
Oh, they are expensive.
Is there a
not too bad.
program
There's
that they
one
can
inside.
work through to get one?
Yeah, it's, so we worked with the
Shock trauma.
Shock Trauma, which was the foundation that helped us get it.
Okay.
And then Head Start, or Heart Start was the company that provided them.
Things, yeah.
And the AEDs themselves are the all-weather ones, which is the ones we got, are like $2,000 and change. And then for us, the outdoor box is an extra $1,000. But, for the indoor one, I can't remember how much we
They
spent for
seem like
this
they're
one.
pretty inexpensive.
Yeah, those ones, I think, the indoor-only ones, I think are
$500 may be
Or
expensive.
something like that, because we had gotten one for
Yes.
church,
yeah.
years ago because we just needed it, and, it was very reasonably priced. I think back then it was like $5.99
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
like that. It wasn't.
Yeah, so
So-
there
That's great.
are some opportunities there, though. Yeah.
Ours is a little different because with the permanent fixture type sort of, when you call 911, they give you a code, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
In order to open it up. So not anybody, you can't just go and open up an AED.
Yeah, a lot
It-
more technology to it, and it's protected. and-
Right.
yeah.
And ours, because they're outdoors and because they're connected, ours have power. So they are hardwired in and have a battery backup.
Interesting.
Versus the indoor ones, generally, you can get ones that are hardwired, but generally, those are just battery backup ones. So, that's just a technical change, but that's another way in which, so we had to drill in to add the power to it as well. But that's for the outdoor ones.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, that is a good question, because I was thinking about that between the gym over here, the gym right here, and the one at K2.
So anything, where do our
Huh?
seniors spend most of their time in town? And I think it's awesome that we're doing the pickleball courts in those areas, but also like gyms.
Yeah.
And
HealthWorks
the
has
churches.
one.
Which one?
HealthWorks has.
Anytime?
Anytime.
Anytime, sorry.
Yeah, anytime.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah. We keep
It
calling.
used to be called HealthWorks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
yeah, okay.
So, that was the AED, and then anything else with the AEDs?
No, just, thank you.
And then obviously the crosswalks, we talked about a little bit about the visibility. I've gotten a lot of good feedback from residents that, at first they weren't so sure about the red color, but, it doesn't fail for every time I drive through town in some capacity. Either, you can see the people more. I wish it was a little bit more reflective at night. But again, it's still enough to where you can see the red versus the brick that it used to be. So I think it's a good improvement. It's necessary, and eventually, I'm still going to advocate for, the blinking lights at the stop signs, because that's almost a daily occurrence
when I come to the backside. But other than that, that is what I have for our Parks Board meeting until our next commissioner meeting when we follow up with our Parks Board meeting on Wednesday.
Cool.
That's what
Thank
I
you. And probably my favorite Instagram post of the last couple of days has been the grill team publishing the menu
Oh, yeah.
for the upcoming events.
We got a big follower today, too, didn't we, Link?
Who's that?
Thomas Taylor.
Who did?
Thomas Taylor.
Thomas Taylor followed the grill team?
Followed the grill
Now you're talking.
There you go.
Remember, they're coming out on the 24th. Big Smash Burger night.
Exactly. I'll be there. All right, that sounds good.
However, just however you like it.
Order it up. Okay, listen, thank you for that. I appreciate the update from the Parks Board and the grill team. Very good. And Sarah, you guys usually coordinate. Tell us what you got.
Sure, I'll go next. I feel like I'm a little bit on repeat because I'm saying the same things this whole summer, but just to give everyone the recap again, we're preparing for the Poolesville Day breakfast, and we have a fantastic panel organized, an inequities panel that Ed Reed will be moderating, facilitating. We also have Lynn Cohen, who will be speaking on that panel, and Katie Longbreak and Melissa Wiedenhofer. We have a fantastic RSVP list from many of our delegates, both county and state. And we will be doing a recognition of farmers. I talked to you last time about how we're going to create sort of like a plaque, but ultimately, someday we would also like to have some type of work of art, maybe on the commons where we could place the plaque and people could come and take a picture with it. So something like I don't know, like a tractor bench or something that, again, kind of highlights our connection with the agriculture community. And then we also have our Champion of the Western County Award that we will be giving out as well. I think the only other thing, my other announcement was that our flu and COVID shots are available at CVS. I got mine this week. Got a nice little bruise from it, but I am just putting my little PSA out there for everyone. Go get your booster shots.
Speaking of the COVID shot, I signed up for it tomorrow. I get the flu and the COVID. I tried signing up my wife for the flu and the COVID, and they said she's not eligible for the COVID shot.
They told me that online as well, and I told the pharmacist when I got there, and they said, oh, it must be a glitch.
Okay.
They looked up my name, they're like, yeah, well, you're totally eligible, and they did both of them.
So I was fuming because of what's been happening.
Yeah, so that's my other PSA is CVS, their app seems to be kind of glitching when you try to sign up for your COVID shots. It asks you if you've had your COVID shot in the last 2 months, and if you say no, then it says you're not eligible. It's like the opposite of what you would think. Anyways, so yes, just go speak to the pharmacists. They are fantastic. That's
Cool.
it. That's it for me.
Thank you. Where's that bruise?
Okay, you want to slug me?
Oh, yeah.
No, I just want to make sure that
He wants to
it's
see what his is gonna look like.
right. I'm going to say, yeah, right. Is that what's going to feel like? I may not do it.
That's all it is.
I just wanted to make you feel uncomfortable for 1 second.
She's too smooth for that.
She is.
It just won't happen.
Ed, go ahead. Where's your
Sure.
bruise? Tell us about your bruise.
Yeah,
Ed.
don't have one.
All right.
All right, Sustainable Poolesville. And so it's not a whole lot since we last met, yeah, but nevertheless, the projects continue to move forward. You get to pick it up Poolesville. That's been going well lately, except just this past week and prior to this past weekend, they've had about 5 to 10 participants each time, go out twice a month on Saturday mornings. They like to go out and help after a community event. So after the Barrels event, Saturday morning, they didn't have a lot of participants, but prior to that, there've been a good number of kids coming through to help out. Now's the messages, the texting piece that you put out has really been great, and I told them I would share that message.
Have you ever coordinated with like local church groups? 'Cause I've had a couple of them approach me and ask for like volunteer opportunities for you.
Tell them to
So I'll just have them
reach out to not reach out to me, tell them reach out to the Sustainable Pools of the Don Street.
Okay.
Right? Or tell them to go sign, actually tell them they could go to the pool, pick it up Poolesville link and sign up.
Okay.
All right, now if they have a whole group that wants to do
Yeah.
something,
It's the whole group.
then they could reach out to Don or myself, and I'd help them out. So you have that. Let's see here. One of the things we talked about doing then is showing some of the pictures, maybe on
Yeah.
the community page, to kind of show, hey, this is what it looks like, for two reasons. One, for those who really want to help keep the environment clean, they can see what's happening. And then for others to kind of give an elbow to a friend. If you're out and you just see people dumping stuff out, pick up your stuff. You know, you know.
There's nothing more annoying.
Picking up trash or people dumping trash?
If you can catch people dumping it, but sometimes what happens near the skate park, but near the fence, that continues to be a spot where people like to dump a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know. So in terms of the zero waste project, that's making positive strides. So we have a few different drop locations. We're at the Eyeglass Place down the street, Sheer Madness, Town Hall. They're dropping off a lot of batteries.
Yep,
You guys are
we've
seeing
gotten
all
good.
of that. And then right over here, the local dental office, dropping off things. So that's been moving pretty good. And then we had talked in the past about the Helpsy thrift shop. And so right now we're going to put that on hold with the Helpsy, because some of the folks at the thrift shop, they look at it as hey, that might be more competition to take away from the thrift shop. And so that piece will be on hold for right now. And then when it comes to the composting, Don is doing more research, looking for successful programs and ideas that we might be able to duplicate in terms of a compost exchange. And then we'll have a booth up for Poolesville Day. That's it.
That's it.
Any questions?
Drag it out just another minute. I mean, you know what they say?
We
It's like- it's
are
like this.
we are
Do
gonna
this.
we are going to create some volunteer opportunities for kids over in Poolesville at the school to help out with us as well.
Okay, that was barely enough. Well, I can work with it. All right, thank you, Ed, for that. I appreciate that. So for my report, again, appreciate the coverage on fair access from Sarah and Ed, and also the hard work that the Fair Access Committee, especially Link, has been doing. You know, prepping for the Poolesville Day breakfast has been like an around-the-clock endeavor for several of us, especially Link, and it's, but boy, is it coming together, probably to the highest level it ever has been. So it's an all hands on deck for all of us, as you guys know it. Get there early. I'm going to be doing the identification, and we've got some little surprises for the elected officials. Ed, Link, and I talked about it, that they're going to take place while we're there that day. But I need all your help. We have a VIP list, and I just need everybody's help in identifying, like, if we make sure that we know somebody's there. Part of the job is to make sure that we get the recognition to those guys, right? It's all, they made the trip to Poolesville. We're going to call them out. We're going to let them know we love them. We're going to let them know we need them. That's our job, all hands on deck. I'm sure Laura Van Epperen's tuned up on that as well. And we're going to have a solid game plan and a big day. But a lot of it is, again, of course, we want to let them know what we're doing and what they need to do to help us. And we want to thank them for what they've already done. But we also win hearts and want to make sure that these people love us and want to feel comfortable coming back up here. Same thing along the same lines. Scott Goldberg came. You guys gave him a tour. I wasn't around. That was great. Thank you, Alan, for pitch hitting for me and whoever else was there. Brian, I'm not sure who else was there that day, but thank you. Scott Goldberg has a very, very good chance of being an at-large council member, so it's great that we spend some time with him. Then we had another tour with Lorianne Sales where we were able to bring Lorianne around. You know, she spent a lot of time up here, give her a lot of credit for paying attention to what we have. She learned more, again, on the tour of the outer parts of Poolesville. I think it was a real eye-opener for her. That was great. And it just really, really gives to these people that come up here, it gives them depth of what we're about beyond just Main Street and Poolesville and the commissioners and, you know, the normal WUMCA, the people they run into all the time. So, in fact, we were...
She has.
Yeah.
But her eyes were open.
There you go.
Just keep one statistic in mind. 94.5 square miles is what we're talking about in the Western County. That's how many miles are out here for people. And that's why isolation and hidden need are real issues.
And the tour that Link gives now, I mean, it goes right to the isolation and hidden need to let those guys know what it's about. You know, we're trying to break the stereotype of, you know, rich houses and big houses and moneyed people. So It's very effective, and I'm sure we're going to see more of that as time goes on over the next, the primary's not till next June, but we're going to see more and more of that as time goes on. We also talked about having a candidates forum. You guys, we'll all make that decision together, kind of, but that'll be coming up in the spring. I think the only decision Link and I came up with is we're not going to do it this fall or winter. So we're going to let them. We'll let this primary.
Get by next spring. at that
Yeah,
I agree.
and because there's candidate forums already taking place, so we don't need to be a part of that right now. We want to make it count when they need to remember us. So that'll be coming up. Special thanks to Katie Horan. She's always a business commercial stop for us. She's always well prepared. She's always great. The people love her. The people love her stuff. They always buy something there. And it's a good way to remember Poolesville's commercial sector. So very appreciative of you, Katie, in case you hear this. Appreciate you and all you do for us. Link also attended a Don Lukey event, which was something to put a face to our name to her face, our face to her name, and let her know that we have support. Appreciate that, Link. That was good. Dawn is very influential. You guys read Adam's column, Montgomery Perspectives. He can say everything he wants about all the council members. With her, she's always whip smart, and I believe it. And she's a top notch. So, and I think she's a real strong influence on the council too. So, good to have her, and she'll be here for Poolesville Day, right? Yeah, for the breakfast. Yeah, she's top-notch talent, and love the rest of our council members. But thank you for doing that with Dawn. So on the Poolesville Day breakfast, again, we get there early. We're all working it. We're all spreading ourselves out as much as we can. We're talking to as many elected officials as we can. We're definitely going to call up at a time period during our recognition phase. We're going to call up the people that, first of all, we're going to recognize our locals, absolutely, without question, the WUMCOs, the commissioners, any of our other boards or commission members we're going to be recognizing. Then we're going to be talking about, and we're going to have the people that are not elected that are going to be running for election, and really identify who those guys are, and give them we're not going to give anybody a chance to speak, not enough time, but they'll get a chance to say their name, what they're running for, and then all of us pay attention to who those people are so that we can really work with them at one point or another. Sarah alluded to, got some really good stuff planned for Poolesville Day for the awards we're giving out and the plaque that we're having developed. We'll talk about where that plaque can go. We really just want to sincerely, of course, let the farming community know that it's not lip service here. We do care. We do want them to know that we are a part of them. They're a part of us. I hope they take it as seriously as we take it, because we definitely are taking it seriously. Tomorrow night, I'm talking to the Poolesville seniors. They've got 46 people signed up for it already. We already said 46, they said.
Like fireside chat with Jim Brown.
No, I'm hoping it's actually they told me to wear a red shirt so the tomatoes wouldn't they would blend in. But no, right between two ferns with Jim Brown, right? But I'm right, that would be good. Yeah, I could do that part of it. Where's that button? The button. It's the interview. So we do that tomorrow night, and there's no real time limit on it. They'll cut it off at one point or another, but I really do hope people bring their concerns and want to talk about the real issues of Poolesville, including all the mysteries and potential falsehoods of what's going on with our developments, our water supply, and all that stuff. I'm ready to go on all of it, so I'm looking forward to it. We'll see who shows up, and maybe we get some of the keyboard warriors out to show up in person. Who knows? We'll find out. So I'm looking forward to that, and that is tomorrow night. So did I forget anything? Anybody? Blink? Don? John? Oh, yeah.
Is anybody else going to be there with you?
I need a bodyguard?
I'm coming to cover it surreptitiously from Monaco.
Yeah. John, I need you. You can just stand up there, and you see somebody start to throw something, just stand up.
Where is it located at?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you. It's at the Poolesville Presbyterian Chapel. Yeah, church itself. So, 7 o'clock. I don't really want anybody to go. I'm just saying this stuff. I'm not trying to give any details. No, that's tomorrow night. So looking forward to it. We did it a year ago. We probably had 20-something people there. It was good. We had some very good questions. I predicted the future for the people. It wasn't really predicting the future. It was kind of stuff that we knew was going to take place. So it was a good meeting. We're looking forward to the same thing coming up again. And whoever takes my place in a year, good luck. You can have that spot. It's a lot of fun. The people are good. The people are really, really care about Poolesville, so they ask a lot of good questions. Anyway, that's all I have. Does anybody else have anything else? Staff, did I talk about anything that you're not going to talk about later on today?
Hope you're good.
In other words, wind it up. Okay. All right, that's the end of my report. Thank you for that. Public comment, anybody signed up? No. I take it back. John, would you please talk about what you, I know you, whatever you're going to talk about, but talk about what you did with Link the other night that we were in attendance for. I appreciate that too. Since you're both here.
Pardon?
Since you're both here, if you could talk about what you did the other night.
No.
It's on.
Good, it's on already.
You're live.
Name, rank, and address, buddy.
John Wolves, 17009 Hillard Street. Get that right?
Yeah,
You got it right.
That's across the street from me.
yeah.
So it was a Thursday night at the, so I'm the president of the General William Smallwood chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution. And we're sort of like the male side of the DAR, if you've heard of them, the Daughters of the American Revolution. So we have quarterly meetings, and we meet at the Mission Barbecue in Germantown. And they have a nice setup there because they have a private meeting room. And that night, we recognized Link Hoeing for he got a bronze outstanding citizenship medal for all he's done for the Poolesville area, Western Montgomery County over the past 40 years. So he was recognized for that. And
It was great. Listen, John, they have a good crowd that comes to those meetings. Obviously, there are people who care about the history and the Western County. Again, that's the basis of the Smallwood chapter, right? It all comes from around this region.
so, yeah, Montgomery County.
Okay.
Montgomery County people come from as far as ways to Tacoma Park,
Mm-hmm.
Silver Spring, they go to the meetings.
Now, that was a very interesting meeting and a good job, and Mission Barbecue always does a good job too, so can't complain about that.
I did throw some cold water on the event, though, because my mom and her side of the family is actually related to a person named Calvert, Lord Baltimore.
Oh, really?
So we're actually on the British
English side?
side.
That's why it was only a bronze, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, it wasn't a gold.
So at the beginning, we introduce ourselves and we describe our patriot ancestor. So we go around the room, and then we got to him.
Yeah, you spilled the beans. Too late to pull it back. I got it.
So I'll talk about the canal.
Yeah, please.
So another thing I'm involved with is the Canal Towns Partnership. I represent Poolesville, and I don't think they've complained about me yet over the past, I don't know how many years, 2 or 3. But so the meeting this month is going to be in Paw Paw, West Virginia. Does anybody want to ride with me? 10 o'clock Wednesday. So I think it takes 2 hours to get there.
Oh.
And I'll pack my bike, so afterwards I'm going to try to visit the towpath up there. So Abby Ricketts from Brunswick, she's now the chair for the Canal Towns Partnership once again. So she asked for questions from the different members. So I always send questions in every quarter, but this time I shortened my list and focused on it, and I copied Jim, I copied Ed, and copied Lincoln, telling Abby what positions they hold within the town, because these questions go directly to the park. So I'm starting to get frustrated with the park, because every quarter I generally ask the same questions and it's sort of brushed off. So I didn't want them to think that these are my questions and the leadership here is unaware of it, but I want to include you up front. So can you stop clicking? So my first question is about the White's Ferry, the cabins. There's 19 cabins. In April 1st of 2022, they were vacated. The cabins are still standing there. They're supposed to be torn down, removed.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be turned into a campground. I forget how many campsites, but it was supposed to be able to accommodate upwards towards 150 people. Well, for my way of thinking, that would be great for not only the town of Poolesville, but for the surrounding areas, the businesses. People would be coming from all over Montgomery County, from the state. If they come from Virginia, they got to go around Pointer Rocks to get to the campground. It's another reason why the ferry should be open. So anyway, that's another story. So I ask, what's the status with removing the cabins? And then my next question, follow-up is, what's the status of building the campground? Which, so in June, I was told there's no update on any of that.
God.
And then my second question was about paving the parking lots at Riley's Lock. If you've ever been there,
It's awful.
terrible, and Enfield Lock. And in June, I was told by the business manager who's in charge of the funding that the parking lots, the contract is in the works to pave both parking lots. It should be done in fiscal year 2026. And it was supposed to have been done in 2024, but they pulled the money for something else. So I keep following up with the parking lot questions. And then another question I had was the land transfer of the Seneca stone cutting mill. Has anyone not been to the stone cutting mill?
I've been there.
I have not.
I have not.
I haven't.
It's cool to see you guys.
Well, if you ever want a quick tour, I'll take you there.
Okay.
There's a lot of history back there, a lot of history. There's even a cemetery back there. So I asked about what's the status of transferring it from the Seneca Creek State Park to the National Park. And then the last question I had, July a year ago, well, they asked for, you see any signs along the towpath that need repaired or need to be replaced because they're damaged, let them know. So I took pictures of them, sent them in, and so I just have the same pictures, now, saying, it's a follow-up from what I sent to you all last year about replacing signs. And yeah, so I said, there's monies available. The Sino Canal Association has thousands of dollars they can put towards, projects like replacing signs. Then I think the last thing I heard about was the Monocacy Aqueduct, replacing the cement that's missing between the topaz stones and the cracked cement, damaged cement. And I said, once again, the Sino Canal Association could fund that. They funded the replacing the mule kick boards, along stone towpath, and I was behind getting that replaced. And I don't know what, I kept following up with that for like 3 years. Finally, the park agreed to take the money, and they had their maintenance staff replace the rotten boards that were falling, down. So what else? So that's it.
John, so first of all, Link and I talked about this a little bit, and the commissioners will get involved here, but we've got to figure out a way to help you get more muscle behind it, just like including us is good. They know that we're concerned, and I really appreciate also, too, crystallizing in summer, and really not, I know you've never done it like scattershot, but the way you've put it together, they really do have their marching orders for the top items that need to be dealt with. And we just hope we can help get some attention on those. It's chronically underfunded and also, in my mind, just incredibly bureaucratic and disorganized.
And
So-
they've lost a lot of staff, people.
Yeah, they've been cut.
Tired,
Yeah.
thanks, whatever. But there's one more thing that I'm trying to get done. So I'm working with the trust on this one, Sino Canal Trust. The mule kick boards are 516 feet, and they need to be stained to help preserve them. So I'm trying to get some volunteers through the trust, and the Great Falls Maintenance Shed has the stain, has the drop cloths.
Ah.
So that might happen either October or November.
Okay.
That's the last.
We'll keep our fingers crossed. Thanks for advocating. Thanks for not giving up either. You know what happens when you don't give up. Sometimes stuff does happen. So
Like the parking lots.
Yeah.
I've been on that for a few years.
they're awful.
So what's your priorities to get, I know you kind of have à la carte, what you just explained, what you want to get done with
I'd
the
like
mule
to get
kick,
the Seneca Aqueduct restored. That's not on the list because that's too big.
right?
So the priorities would be
Concrete.
White's Ferry.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
An easier task would be replacing cement on the towpath and the berm side wall.
Signs that were damaged. I mean, that seems pretty,
That's easy.
I mean, that's like the simplest thing there. I mean, so,
I don't have everybody's email, but I don't mind you sharing them.
We can get it to you.
They're on
Yeah,
the
that'd be
website. Yep. You want to contact all of them, they're on there.
Okay, okay.
I'd definitely be interested in helping out. I'm trying to
Now,
put a little pressure.
November, they're coming here, the Canal Towns Partnership, and there'll be a park representative, so
Nice.
When in November?
the second Wednesday in November.
And where will you meet?
I've reserved this room.
Oh, this room. Fantastic.
Parks, there's no Planning commission
It
meeting?
will be, it's during the day.
It's like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
It'll be November 12th. And when I went to sign up, she said, "Oh, you can't have the room." I said, "It's in the morning." I said, "Oh, you can have it."
Is that on the calendar, Niles?
It's not on I'll add it to the website calendar if you want. But
You can just send it to me that way.
I'll just send it to you.
Send to all of us. Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay.
Appreciate
I'd be
it.
interested in
Yeah, thanks, Alan.
educating myself.
Okay, John, thanks for that, buddy. That was more than I was gambling for, but I'm glad you gave it to us all, so
Well, you get me to
appreciate it.
talk about the canal.
I understand. That's okay.
Link, you
Tonight-
can go click your pen now.
Right, tonight's a good night to do it, so no worries. It's good. Thank you. Appreciate it. How'd you send an email off during that presentation? That was pretty good. Or somebody did. It's like magic. All right, very good. Thanks you for that. One thing I did want to say too, under public comment, is you guys know Erica at Bassett's, runs
do.
Bassett's and Bassett's. Her dad is gravely ill, so she asked me to ask everybody to have a prayer for him.
I did ask, I did text back and forth with her.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, so, Erica's great, and her dad was a bit of a fixture, too. So keep our fingers crossed for him, and prayers, positive thoughts. All right, anything else, public comment? Nobody signed up, nobody online?
No.
Give me that look. Approval of the August 18th, 2025 meeting. Anybody want to talk about the minutes on that and give us a motion?
Motion that we approve the minutes from the August 18th meeting.
Motion made by Ed to approve the minutes for August 18th, 2025 meeting. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Brian by just a hair.
Good job, Brian.
Motion made by Ed, second by Brian. Any questions or changes to the minutes at all? Discussion points? None? Wade, are you getting ready to say something?
No, I did make a correction to it that Jim brought, there was a dollar sign missing off of the 100,000.
You didn't have to say that.
Exactly 100,000 of what that we did transfer.
Right. Yeah, no biggie. That's all I do is look at dollar signs according to some people. So appreciate that. Thank you for the change. Motion made, seconded. Any other corrections, changes, comments? All in favor of approving the minutes of August 18th, 2025, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Great. Good stuff. So, fireworks annual report, Scott Graham, not here.
He is not, and when we met with him 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, whatever it was, he ran down through a presentation of what he was going to present to everybody here, so I'm sure we can catch him again in the future, because he's going to want to really talk about what's going to happen next year, the 250th anniversary. They're having a whole day of festival out there on the grounds. We said this year they had a really good turnout. $30,000 is what that we donate to the fire department, and it's exactly what Zambelli's charged this year for those fireworks. They said the parking worked out much better this year. They had an entrance in two different areas, and they made people exit in those two areas, which was much smoother than what they had done in the past. So next year, they didn't ask for more money. They want to have a lot more people, and a lot more vendors and bands playing all day. So the 30,000 that we do now is going to be adequate. They don't know if Zambelli is going to hold their price or not. They won't go into a long-term contract, a 3-year contract they had before, just because of potential tariff implications. So they're just kind of winging it right now. But that was his big thing, was really the next year, what's going to happen. So we'll get him in here at some time, and then I'm not sure if he had something come up tonight or whatever. He's got a lot on his plate. He was giving a rundown on all the different situations and training and things that they do in all the different hospitals, emergency places. So we'll get him in here.
Yep. Hats off to the fire department again for running a tight ship and trying to improve it. And again, next year they're proposing a bit of a festival approach to it. Longer day, more bang for our buck in terms of people time, and not a bad idea. And we did talk to him about, you guys, in case anybody asked about how the fields were long, and that was the major complaint we heard from all of our residents, was how tall the grass was. So they need to cut that down to size, and they talked a little more about the configuration of things too. So they are working hard to try and improve it, and get feedback and listen to it. And as Wade said too, we talked about what does the future look like? Because if the commissioners are all going to have to make some decisions if tariffs or whatever, or the continued cost increases make it a $50,000 event,
Right.
a 5-hour $50,000 event. we have to think about what that means. I mean, then you really get some fiscal responsibility issues. And Scott knows this, and they're also working on some alternative potential celebrations. So, but next year's 250. That's a big deal.
It is a big
So it's going to be a big show for that one, and I'm sure plenty of bang for our buck. And again, as Wade said, Scott will be coming in and talk to us, I'm sure. Anything else on that? Any
Whose
other
field is that
requests?
on? I just, who owns the field?
So,
Mike Rubin, I do believe, said.
Yeah.
So it's a private,
yeah,
Yeah, so it was so long because they do two different cuts of straw off of that field.
yeah, it's
And one
timing.
cut, and it was just a timing issue and the way the rain had made it grow, and so it's all about money for the owner of the property.
yeah.
So we'll see if we can work something to help him out, maybe help mow it beforehand so he can get his own clippings and.
And our guys have been in there before mowing, right?
We didn't mow, we set the fence all up.
Yeah.
Set the fence up, right?
Which we're not gonna do anymore. It was just, it just grew from, a couple hundred feet to like 500 and some feet, and took
Too much for
3
our
days
guys.
to put up and then a couple days to take down. And
Wow.
so it was,
That's a lot on them.
yeah, it was just too much. And it typically happens right when the summer when we're cutting grass like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just a whole,
So to be determined. Poolesville Day next year looks like a day-long festival, great fireworks show. We'll see what the grass cut better. We'll see what the fields cut. Really hard to call it grass. The fields cut better, and then we're going to see how this evolves as time goes on with more discussions. And we really opened up Scott and said, "Hey, man, this is I'm not trying to speak for the board, but just when you start looking at how much money that costs versus how much benefit and how much time it is."
Recognition, yep.
Yeah, and we did mention recognition
Oh,
too.
yeah.
We held his feet to the fire on that in a nice way, and he was responsive. I will say that. The one place where we picked up on that there was no recognition given, he freely said it was a mistake, and that they worked hard, and they showed us all the other instances where the town of Poolesville commissioners did get recognition. I mean, we don't really want the recognition. We just want our taxpayers to know that that we're acting on their behalf. To do something. So anyway, I will say Scott was kind of on top of all that stuff, so that was good. One thing I did want to say too, and are you done with that fireworks part?
yes.
I forgot to mention, we talked about staff, and I talked today about Matt Warfield's mom, Carol Warfield, Poolesville person, is also gravely ill. And Matt is, one of our all-stars, long-time, great town employee. His mom is also one of the nicest sweethearts in Poolesville. So I don't want to be too that modeling tonight, but she's somebody else that deserves our prayers, and Matt does too, and his family. Great, just great Poolesville people. So, old business, nothing on the agenda there unless somebody has something. Town staff, town manager's report.
Okay, we have a couple of things here. So we've been working with the water department staff and Kathy Mim and Pat Hammond. He put together his report and talked about some potential well interference. And so we've been testing different wells. It's a perfect environment for it right now. They got the drought going on at the end of the summer. It's a perfect time to do it. And really, we're seeing very little, in many cases, not any interference between the wells. So we run it by turning a well on, let it run for 24, 36 hours, and then turn another well on to see how it impacts it. And the only one we saw any impact one was between 9 and 11, and it was minimal at best. We'll probably do some extensive testing, like maybe a 30-day between the two, see if we can extrapolate that out to what it could be in the future. But really, it's the signs are really good.
Thanks for the update on that.
That's crazy because I heard on Facebook that we didn't have any water.
I heard that too. Not
Really?
even on Facebook.
Well, that's true. Yeah, so it must be true.
I know there's water because there was a guy off of Wester, Hoskinson was watering his lawn, had a sprinkler going.
I don't know how you could do that without water, but I guess he managed somehow. Maybe he has a cistern.
Well, to continue in the same vein, the well system itself is doing really good this year. We still have a couple wells offline due to the PFAS, but we were able to bring on 2 and 3 that were off the last couple of years that we had to ask for volunteer restrictions. And the wells are running like 10, 12 hours a day. That's it. We're still pumping over 500,000 gallons a day, 520, right around in there. So we can go a little higher, but
That's good.
wells are managing it fine. They're not stressed out, nothing. So that's really good signs too. Perfect time to, without having other wells offline that we typically relied upon, just because of the PFAS, they're back online. So we're fat and happy with water as far as that goes.
Good to hear. Thank you. It should be reassuring to our residents.
So the second thing, we talked about this briefly, but the town sent an email to the Maryland Department of Highway Administration, the State Highway Administration, regarding the two intersections that we highlighted in the comprehensive plan, further on. So that's Spates Hill and Fisher, and Elgin and Holler. And we talked specifically about requesting them to look at improvements, including the pedestrian flashing beacons, like we have there at both of those intersections, looking at the speed limit they have. The state had previously stated to us that once the new houses are in on Fisher, so the Harts Estates, they will look at reducing the speed limit there too, because there'll be greater traffic. But we also asked them, it's 30 miles an hour coming in on 109 to downtown Poolesville here. So we asked them to look at that speed limit as well. When we did our own testing, they, the prevailing speeds, the 85th percentile speeds, which is what we look at for a lot of this, was around the area of about 35 miles an hour. So not excessive speeding, but still a significant amount, about 5 miles over the speed limit. And then them coming into a slower traffic area of downtown Poolesville with the churches, with the bus stop, with everything that you're all familiar with. We felt that that was another avenue to look at. They said that they will try to complete their study of these issues by the end of October. So we'll see where that goes and what they come back to us, but that's something that we are continuing to focus on from our perspective. And we also talked about redoing the crosswalk as is because of fading and things like that and the wear and tear. So we brought that up as well.
Thank you.
I do think the flashing sign there over in,
The speed sign?
the speed sign.
Yes.
I think it has helped.
I think
Yes.
so too. Yeah, just
And-
brings your attention to it.
And typically, what the studies have shown is that also reduces
It's already reduced
speeds
speed.
by about 5 miles an hour. So if you think about what it could have been before, that's where
Oh,
that's
so the speed study showed that it was on average 35 with that flashing.
with
sign.
that flashing sign.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so because that's what we use to record it. Just so you know,
Got
that
it.
sign is what's recording the speeds.
Okay.
So
So yeah, I definitely probably was higher before.
yeah, so I have a feeling that that played into it. So just
Yeah.
based on what the general literature has been on these
Yeah.
issues.
Okay. Interesting.
Very good. Thank you for that. And I find it, when we're on the subject, I find it ironic that we annually, we have to petition the state for, especially at Spates Hill and Fisher Avenue, for improvements at that intersection, painting of the stripes. Also, that invariably, as soon as school starts, there's usually some sort of incident that takes place there that requires, some sort of look at that intersection. But the ironic part is that they removed the passing zone once you leave town, right past town limits. Remember, there used to be a passing zone on that long straightaway, and they just unilaterally, there was no consult with us, didn't need to be, but that passing zone got removed. So someone looked at it and decided that wasn't necessarily safe.
Right.
I can't believe that would just be an administrative error that we forgot to put a dotted line down. So then they did look at it, but why they do not make that, that same adjustment just as you come there on still their road as you come into town. So where is that? It's like, we take the fun part out of the road, but then we keep the screwed up section at Spates Hill Road, still messed up. So anyway, thank you for staying on it as we've discussed, guys. I appreciate that. We will be hearing from people again, and we've had some hits and we've had some near misses there, especially at Spates Hill. And as you guys know, too, probably the biggest bus stop in the entire town of Poolesville is up on Elgin, the most attended bus stop. So that's obviously a need for a slower speed zone.
And we're hopeful that now that they've passed legislation that Maryland accepts in the Uniform Traffic Manual to have those flashing crosswalk signs. So that's allowed now. That wasn't.
Good.
And there are specific places where they've already put them in place. So I referenced that in the letter as well, to try to emulate what has been done at other municipalities.
That's good.
Yeah, that's great.
And speaking of municipalities, I love it that Montgomery County removed, they said over 400 right turn on reds.
Yes.
You will comply. Over 400 removed, no right turn on reds for, and I'm all about pedestrian safety, so I get it, but that's a pretty big move. So, all right, what else you got?
Okay, so after the last meeting, we did release the RFP for the town attorney position. And we advertised the MML, then online, and then the Washington Post. And that's going to close on September 19th, so we'll see how many hits and how many proposals we have come in. Typically, they come in on just the last couple of days that we have an opening, so. We'll see.
Talking again about what our requirements are, because we have some people out there floating that potentially might be interested, but we're really truly looking for municipal experienced attorneys. So
Yeah, definitely municipal experience, and I called out for at least 10 years' experience, 5 years in Maryland, and must be licensed in Maryland, able to go to the Supreme Court in Maryland. There's a whole list of things that I've went to MML basically for a resource and got information, so.
Good, thank you. Yeah, let's see what happens.
Another good thing happened, that we received another payment for the PFAS class action lawsuit of $312,000. So that was from 3M, and we have another payment still ready to come too. And these funds will be placed into a restricted funds account, and we'll apply those to some of the mitigation things that we're doing for PFAS. So
Fantastic.
that pot's getting bigger and bigger. And we know we have the grant coming also. They should be announcing it. We're placed I think it was number 5 on the list or
That's what I
something.
remember, yeah.
For $5 million to get all the PFAS, tie the wells together, and that whole thing that we talked about, beginning of last year. Auditors are going through our books now, doing all their accounting processes. They may be reaching out to a couple of you. Typically, they pick 1 or 2 of you to talk to, ask questions. Go ahead.
Yep. So one of the things following up on what we were talking about earlier about Poolesville Day is the security for Poolesville Day. There's going to be a couple of changes that were requested by the police department, so that there'll be sort of 3 different ways we're going to control traffic. So one will be parked trucks at some of the entrances, so like on Norris or other places like that, Cattail, where we can control who's coming in and out, but there will be, for the most part, a barrier there. Then there's going to be a couple of places where we'll have trailers that will be mostly stationary but can be moved in certain circumstances. And the last part is we're going to actually have these concrete barriers at some of the entrances, especially down towards the intersection where 109 and 107 come together, just to prevent any entrance into like the parade route from any of those, not really streets, but those driveways and access points that exist in that area. So that's sort of the breakdown of how it will be. We're also going to have some access for emergency vehicles, still utilizing some of the space here, although obviously it's not like it would be normally, given the development, and then using cattail in the case of rain or something like that. So we are planning out sort of beefing up might be the wrong word, but making it a little bit more secure the overall environment around Poolesville Day.
All right. Nice.
And really, that was the police.
Yes, there's police driven. Yeah, they were really, this year they were very good. We've, each of the last 2 years, we've met with them in July to kind of go over things in advance to make sure that we're prepared for various scenarios. So that's been a really good partnership.
Poolesville Day weather,
Yep,
mostly sunny, high of 81 so far.
yeah.
Our fingers crossed. Never rains on Poolesville Day except for last year and the year before.
Okay.
Keep going.
Park-related things. We did start, contractor started painting the pickleball courts over in Stevens Park. So you have to repave it, he has to wait a year, so they're finishing that up, so that's going to be nice. And then we also signed a work order to repave the Hamos basketball courts. They've been in need for a while. We've had money we put away for it the last couple of years, so that's taken care of. One thing I wanted to bring up, and Jim, I didn't tell you I was going to talk about this tonight, but we had talked about the redoing of the Poolesville flag. And we've tossed around some ideas, but we wanted to give it to you guys, and we could form a committee, we could put it out to, there's so many different ways to go about creating a new flag. And we want to just bring it up with you guys, and it's hard, it's kind of hard to see as it is, yeah.
In that regard, Jim, I don't know if you guys saw it, and you were an expert on the design, so I'm not gonna try to second guess
I'm
you.
not an expert, but.
A Poolesville Day
I'll
committee
be
came up
all
with
over
a really
that.
interesting logo this year. It's a whole different logo than they've ever had. It's worth taking a look at.
Which was that link?
The Poolesville Day committee came up
Okay.
with a logo that I think is kind of interesting.
One
Did a
thing,
good job, I think, of combining 3 different messages in a picture.
yeah, elements, yeah.
I think.
So the guys, Niles and I have that link so that, to the seminar. Thanks, Wade, for bringing it back up. And it's I kind of stalled it, but although I was tinkering around with some ideas that were actually, I think, pretty interesting. But we'll circulate that link, and then
Yep.
maybe let's put it on the agenda for the next meeting to talk about that. So you guys watch that in the next couple weeks or month, and eyeball that video. That it was only about it was probably 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
But they talked about the do's and don'ts of municipal flag design.
Okay.
And some of the stuff was a bit of an eye opener about what do flags mean? What do they represent? And for the most part, our flag violates every single tenet of what how they say it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be very symbolic. It's not supposed to have it.
Literal.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
right.
literal
Not,
picture.
not to be literal, and also to not to, like buildings don't represent people. So between that and that you never have your name on your own town name on the flag. It's supposed to be really symbolic. So appreciate you bringing that up, and we will. So we'll circulate that
Yeah.
link to that. It was actually really interesting, and again, I doodled around. I forget what I was on some software looking at it, and I came up with some stuff, and then it just stalled because I thought, oh man, I don't know what I'm doing here, but some of the ideas are really cool about how they could do it, what other municipalities have done, and I have to admit, like during the video, parts of the video, there people were effusive, like, now this is what we call good flag design, and I looked at it and thought, man, that's terrible. And then others were describing the bad things to do, and well, there's our flag. So, and that nothing against the people that have worked hard to design it. Link's probably going to lecture me later that he was on a committee that designed the flag, but or John was, yeah,
Could this be something like high school students could be?
no. So that was part of this when
Yeah.
you see the guideline. No.
So they talk specifically about the idea of it being a controlled process so that you have a committee do it. You can have people in some communities they had people submit. So like in Salt Lake City, they had the people who ended up winning the design were 2 eighth graders, I think.
Yeah.
Who the committee actually ended up taking both of their designs and combining it to what they ultimately
Meet,
wanted.
like, the qualifications
Yeah.
or
To
something.
meet yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So like sometimes they can have an open call,
It's like an idea generation
right?
process,
But it was very much, they talked a lot about there being a process and a really well-defined, specific process.
Yeah, we don't want to turn. I think we can probably create the parameters and get some components in place, but then it pretty much gets turned over to a committee that really does kind of winnow down, the aspects of the things, the design elements that
Is
you
there like a
want.
deadline or anything like we're trying to?
Well, no, it's just, this has been a process that a lot of communities have been going through for a while because a lot of them are older flags or other things. So it's just been more of a movement, I would say, of trying to.
You could certainly make it,
redefine it.
want to make an unveiling
Yes.
for next Poolesville Day or something.
Exactly.
It was really
250th.
self-driven.
Yeah,
I mean, we can tie into the 250th.
exactly.
And just, and open it all up.
It's pretty cool, I think.
That is.
Let's see. What do you got?
That's a building, that's
Yeah.
a structure that,
Kind of combines.
I think I disagree with the, not including a landmark structure in a graphic.
Yeah, and they go through and have some, oh yeah, very nice.
That might still be. It's almost that's. I got it for Link. I give them credit because it's abstract enough, but
Yeah.
it's even more abstract.
Yeah.
Is what they say is it's really it's about colors and a combination of colors and spacing and things like that. That's still clearly identifiable.
And things that reflect something about it,
Sounds like
so,
we could have a more fruitful discussion after we've all watched the video.
Yes.
yeah.
I'm gonna see this. Yeah.
It's time to play some basketball tonight, come on.
Yeah,
No, get
I
you.
want to stay focused.
Yeah.
I was just tapping, head on his foot, just like wakes up.
There's only one more thing to do.
Getting so close.
Well, you know,
One more agenda item left, right?
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, one last thing on the agenda item.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm not done yet.
Oh,
So, I know, everybody grown.
So close.
It's 5 after 8. Come on, we started at 6:55. Come on. So do not take this as literal, right? This is something that they talked about, and I just did this in AI. So it's it shows, don't take it literally, because the center part's screwed up. But see how the 4 quadrants represent like the 4 seasons of growing and things like that? It's just like something you take all those elements and then you plug it in and see if you can spit out something.
Flag in the middles with that.
This is wrong. No, you can't go by that. But it just the way the quadrants are spelled out, and then potentially if you had something else. Look, great yellow ground bleed, and a blue for education. So if you think about like what are the most important elements of Poolesville, you think about our history, you think about our reputation as a school cluster, and you think about our surrounding by farms. So
Well, I love the idea of having a committee of people who have been informed on what we want the policy.
Well, they can help-
the
and they can
qualities
help
to
doing
be,
that, too.
But hopefully
Yeah.
they also have
Artistic
artistic and design experience. You know what I mean?
We'll see.
I would value that at least, because
Yeah.
I don't necessarily trust my ability to like,
no, I'm with you on that.
Tools that are.
yes, or use the tools that are there, for sure.
Right. So
Yeah,
again,
but
this
anyway,
was
it sounds like a
just
good
AI
process for
generation,
people.
but that's like the abstractness of it versus having a picture of Old Town Hall or the town of Poolesville written across the back. So that's general. That's probably too abstract for our conservative town, but anyway, that's just something to think about. So, but all I did was plug in the characteristics of Poolesville, and said, develop a 4-quadrant flag, or develop a flag that encompasses those design features. And that was just AI doing that, so. All right, I'm done. Thank you.
AI is still not perfected, so that's okay.
No, it's just the basis of
Yes.
whatever you come up with. All right, what else you got then, man?
That is it for the manager's report.
Cool, good. All right, thank you for spurring us on. We're on that one without warning. Anyway, all right, guys, anything else for us, for the body? Oh, no, we haven't talked about next meeting.
Oh, yeah.
So we're, the town staff and I talked today about our next meeting schedule.
Yep.
It's the day after 2 days after Poolesville Day. Traditionally, not one of our big meeting days where everybody's just freaking exhausted and had enough already. I think the only thing that we're working on is something for Tom, the
Yeah.
bond.
Yep.
Right, and that can go until the next.
I mean, he's not like under the gun, like, I need this released.
No, we've been talking about it for 3 or 4 months. He's holding it up.
Yeah, it's been on his end, so.
Okay.
So no second meeting in September?
It's okay, if it's
October
okay with
6th?
you guys, yeah.
Get back on the regular schedule.
Cool.
And, right, and we're already off schedule for first Mondays and, first and third Mondays, so we'll get back on regular schedule October.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Do first and third.
Anybody else have a problem with that?
Not at all. Take a motion to accept that.
Okay, we'll just accept your opinion.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so we'll be meeting then, that's the meeting schedule. For now, if something comes up, we'll all talk about it, but otherwise, we'll be good to go. All right, guys, motion.
Good. Motion to adjourn.
Motion from Sarah,
Second?
second from Alan. All in favor of motion of adjourn, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Thank you. Short meeting, good meeting.
Thank you.